just cruising along, and if you're not familiar with this cockpit and this dash, this is actually from an EVO 4. So the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution series, some of you guys may know a little bit about it, and if you don't know a little bit about it, you probably at least know about the rivalry between the Subaru Impreza and the Lancer Evolution. So it was a pretty good battle back in the 90s. And so we are sitting in the production version of this, and this is the EVO 4. And pretty much most stuff in here is actually OEM. There's a couple of mods here that I'm pretty happy with. I do have this really nice, I don't know if you guys can actually see it there, the boost gauge from Defi. I like these because they're pretty high response and pretty easy to install. I installed one on one of my Subarus way back in the day, like 7 years ago. Geez, that was a while ago. But yeah, pretty good to have boost gauge and blow-off valve. And this one actually has a modified, I believe it's Tomei. We'll double check once we get in the engine bay. Also for the blow-off valve, it's actually set to recirc, so it'll recirculate the whatever it dumps back into the intake, which is pretty good for response. Actually, I think the just dumping straight to atmosphere is a little faster, but like, forget which one's more emissions friendly. Depending on your territory, you may or may not care about that. And as you can see, once I get on the boost there, it pulls really good. Transmission is really good, standard. We got about 151,000 kilometers. Yeah, 151. So about 90,000 miles, I think it is, something like that. I didn't do the conversion prior to the video. But I got stock shift knob, stock handbrake, Momo steering wheel, so very nice. Actually, this one I do like the grip a bit more, and it's also got carbon fiber trimmings on it, which is pretty nice. But the rest of the cluster here is OEM, and that truck moved, thank you. So just move along here. And we do have a Carrozzeria audio system, but I'm not sure about any of the other mods with this, but it's pretty handy. We also have this rear view mirror, which also has a rear facing camera, so it kind of gives you a different angle when you're going in reverse, so pretty helpful. And I believe it has a dash cam for forward, but not so sure about that. I'm not sure if it's hooked up. And we do have a modified suspension and a couple of minor engine mods, like nothing too crazy, so that's actually pretty nice. As you can see there, guys, this really gets up and goes. Once I get into the boost territory, it's actually pretty linear. It's not like I've described other EVOs in the past without having that whiplash whenever you hit the boost. Obviously, you've got power going to all four tires, and so it's actually a pretty smooth power delivery, especially when you get into the boost range and get into that torque once you get like 3,500 up to about 7,000. I believe the peak horsepower is somewhere around 6,000 something, but yeah, very nice. And even downshifting here, very smooth through the transmission. So interesting thing about this interior that I do want to mention before we get to the warehouse though. So I do have the stock Recaro seats here. We do have stock brakes and stuff like that. A lot of little goodies here and there, but they are upgraded. You know, from the factory, the EVOs have quite a few upgrades, which is really nice. They did strip out the carpeting for some reason. Not sure what the previous owners had in mind. Obviously, there's a couple of little mods here and there, and it was mentioned that they might have actually had a roll cage, but I don't see any signs of welds or anything like that, so I don't think they did that. But they may have been planning on stripping the interior further, but probably canceled a project or something. So I mean, we just got OEM stuff here and there, and we do have carpeting back, but like the other sound deadening and stuff like that. I mean, maybe they were going for weight reduction. As for the exterior, we got a few scuffs here and there, but overall, like at least the paint is intact, and we do have like some minor fades in certain areas of the clear coat. But I'll show you guys that at the warehouse so you can have a look around. I mean, overall it still looks pretty good, but like where it really counts, we've got all the stuff in the engine bay, and they definitely took care of the maintenance. So let's fast forward to that and I'll show you guys around. Alright, so here we go on the interior, so you guys can see a little bit of the dash, and it's in good shape here, no cracks or anything in there. As you can see, they do have some adhesive things for a gauge that they previously had up here. And of course we have this one there, and you can see a similar clip right there. So actually, let me demonstrate the little startup sequence here. So you can see the gauge goes on, and there's the mileage there, and of course boost gauge is now active. I'll let that go one more time there so you can see. And there it is. And of course up here you can see a little rear facing thing. The time is off. But yep. So that is the little camera slash mirror, so you can see there. Interesting. And yeah, the LED slash LCD interface there is kind of faded, but still functional, as you can see. And I'll just turn this off for now. And we have this Carrozzeria audio system. It actually got a little bit cloudy here, so actually I can turn that back on. You guys can see what's going on here. So it actually has some app connection, but I'm not sure if it's through Bluetooth or what. But yeah, this is a Carrozzeria system here. It actually has this folds out, and you can put your phone there. So with the little app connection, you can do different things with it. And so I'll show you a little bit of the interior. As you can see down below, I'll open the door here, get a little bit more lighting in. Oh, never mind. You can see this is the regular carpet. When I step outside, it'll be a little bit easier to see. You can see this Recaro, and I'll just step out of here for a minute. There you go. You can see they did strip out the base carpet and some of the soundproofing and stuff, but we have the original carpets in place here. And they actually put some different sound deadening stuff in there as well. And I'll just pop the trunk and the hood so that we can have a look at what else they got. And there you go, the Caros. A little bit of wear from going in there, but it's all good. It's not torn. And I believe it's suede, so. Alrighty. So, got some maintenance stickers in there. There's a few others on the inside of the engine bay. And you can see the door panel here. EVO 4 decal. Have a look back here, and as you can see, a little bit more of where you can look under the carpets. See some of the sound deadening stuff there. And the rear seats there, and belts and everything. And we have a look inside the trunk here. As you can see, it's the OEM wing. Larger wing on the EVO, just like the STIs on Imprezas. So this version of the Lancer is there. And we do have some books and stuff from the previous owner. So a lot of EVO related stuff actually was with this. And some of the documentation and the books like the Boss Cam, which is the rear-facing camera, which you can actually see right here. Oops, wait. The reflection's not, there it is. Yeah, the reflection's there. Give you a different angle from inside. There it is. And so it's just a little wide angle camera. Makes it a little bit easier to see. And some of the other electronics and stuff are have the different boxes. This one's for the little Defi control unit, so, and a few other documentations there. Oh, and yeah, the Carlos area, I'm sorry, the number is MVH 7500 SC, so that is here, and you can Bluetooth to your phone, but I didn't test that, so I'm not so sure how that goes. Some other EVO related goodies in here, so. And of course, you can see back here the upholstery, and actually the carpeting and stuff is actually really good. And under here, you can take a look at the spare tire, which isn't there. So it just seems like they did a lot of this stuff for the weight reduction, but I guess I got a couple pounds of box and books here, so. And those OZ racing wheels, get that rally goodness. And as you can see with the front lip, I'll go over that in a moment here, but yeah, a little bit of scuffs there, but yeah, this car has actually been driven by people that enjoy the EVO and actually took care of it. So not perfect care, because there are some minor chips, which I'll show you in a little bit, but we'll look in the engine bay. You guys can see what that's all about. And yeah, they took care of it pretty well. We do have a Cusco heat shield here, because the stock one usually rusts pretty badly, which you might have seen in our other videos for the EVOs 2 and 3. Typically that one will just rust to heck, and well, this one, Cusco, very nice. I believe that's stainless, so very nice look to it and good shielding. And we do have that Tomei, I believe that's that recirc blow-off valve there. So that actually goes from underneath there, where the intake plenum is. That's after the intercooler. So actually I'll follow the piping in a moment after I show you guys a little bit more about this, such as some numbers there. You guys can check on your favorite registries online to find some additional information. And there you go, the chassis code right there, SCN9A. And so you can see we do have the strut bar there, with the third point being on the chassis of the firewall. And we do have coilovers all around. I forget the brand, I'll double check if I can see it from the side. But we do have coilovers all around. Alright, and also for the hood, the shielding is intact with that hood vent, so there you go. And just for some little piping tracing here, as you can see, we do have the stock airbox, goes through the mass airflow sensor, down through the turbo, get that compressed goodness, and then shoots around to the front mount intercooler. Then under there, back up underneath here to the intake plenum. And when it comes to relieving some of the boost, that comes back up here through the intake back towards the turbo, so it's recirculated, not vented to atmosphere. So it's a little bit quieter whenever you punch it and you boost, and whenever you lay off the gas, you don't hear the usual whoosh. So it's a little bit more tame, since it's also got the stock airbox there to kind of muffle the intake noises. But we do have an exhaust, which I'll show you here shortly. And the reason why I wasn't too crazy on the loudness though is because we do have the silencer installed, which I was thinking about removing, but probably better not to upset the neighbors right now. It has been cold lately and they hear a bunch of noises outside, they might get a little irritated, so. There we go. And as you can see, quite the larger diameter piping there. Definitely better flowing, but yeah, with the silencer, it's not too loud. I'm pretty sure it's plenty loud if I punched it without the silencer. And as you can see, they did remove the badges and stuff, so we do at least have the EVO 4, but it doesn't say Lancer. You can kind of see the fade in there, and Mitsubishi is supposed to be there. You can kind of see it. And so most of the clear coat is okay on certain areas of the car. As you can see on the side here, looking okay on the doors and everything on this side, except on the roof. It looks like it was repainted a little bit. Some of these actually do chip and flake, especially if it's been sitting around for 25 years, which this one turns 25, I believe, later this year. So you can kind of see they did spray that. Some of the other EVOs, we've had 2 and 3, sometimes we'll have like a couple rust spots on the top, and sometimes those have been taken care of, sometimes they haven't been. So for this one, they did repaint certain areas, or at least put some touch-up paint like here and here, little couple clips there. So if you would like some things redone, we can definitely get that redone, but this is the current condition of it right now. A couple of road chips. You know, when you've got almost 90,000 something miles, almost 100,000, it definitely has had little bumps and scrapes. And even though we do have really good roads here, they're not perfect. So plenty of little chips. And yeah. But it looks like the previous owner did patch up things as fast as possible, just to avoid any rust. So that was the good thing. So even there, just a minor nick. And as you can see, like also some of the that rougher texture, because, well, you know, they just sprayed it for protection rather than look, so it's just a gray paint. And also some of the trimmings, which some of this does come off after a while, and they just painted it black to make sure it doesn't start rusting. And along this side right here, there was also little areas where they redid it, just so you guys are aware. So I mean, it's gray, fitting into that gray and silver, but all they did was just patch it so that it didn't rust. So good on them for doing that. If you want it to be a little bit more perfect, you could probably get that repainted for you, or you could do it on arrival to wherever you are in the world. But this is the condition as is. Really good running. I definitely like the performance of this one. They definitely took care of that. As you can see, even the brakes, they have some fresh pads on that, and you can see the coilovers and everything. And they did replace the tires somewhat recently. I am not sure when exactly, but they got plenty of tread on them, so there we go. Well, there you have it, crew. Another fine EVO to have come through here. We haven't had too many 4s come through here, though. We did have another customer that had one on storage, but that was his, that he just requested we keep on in like covered storage for a number of years. But we've had plenty of 5s, 6s, and a few others actually. Definitely a lot of 1s and 2s and 3s up until a couple months ago. So I haven't had too many recently, so we got some 4s in. As you can tell, It's in pretty good running order, but like not the greatest on body. There's definitely at least protected, but not super shiny like some folks might be looking for. If you're looking for that, make sure to contact our sales team, info at jdm-expo.com. Definitely they'll let you know more about this if you're interested. And they also have maybe some other details about the history of that I'm not fully aware of, so they can definitely talk to you about that. The Shaken, or the Japanese inspection, JCI and stuff, is good. I believe this one's 12, so that's December. So I believe that's for this year. So I think that's still good for now. And as you can see, we do have the regular plates on there as well. So that's at least good until the end of this year. So if you're in Japan, definitely got that. But if you're overseas, definitely we can get this out to you as soon as possible. And just a shipping update though, most shipping is okay for the roll-on, roll-off, but some of you guys looking for container stuff, I think there's still some delays on that coming out of Japan for, you know, the public health crisis going on worldwide. So definitely take care of yourselves wherever you guys are, and stay safe, and keep the JDM dreams alive. We definitely got them here, and we can definitely just reach out to us if you have any questions about the process or any cars that you're looking for. Our sales guys will be able to get to you within about 24 hours. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Just hit them up and they'll let you know. So take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.